Capricorn, hello, it's October 2020, and it's time to take a sneak peek at your general tarot reading. I'm sorry if you hear my washing machine, but I have 3 boys, 5 and under, and when I want to do this and have peace and quiet, I'm exiled to my basement, so that's where I do it when I can't get away. So Capricorn, that's what I'm doing here. I'm just some guy with a cheap tapestry behind him, hiding in his basement reading tarot. Isn't that fantastic, right? Alright, so anyway, this is an intuitive reading. This isn't going to be for everybody. It possibly can't be. So if it's not for you, there's always another message on another day that might be better suited for you. I read cards differently, probably much differently than you're used to. So I read first impression. First impression is most important, and after the first impression comes the traditional meanings of those tarot cards, and so we push them together and make them into a story, and so that's how I do this. So anyway, I'm trying to get away from personal readings because it's too much for me. I can't handle it anymore. It's becoming a lot, and so I definitely plan on discontinuing that within the next couple days. I keep saying I'm going to do it, and it just takes a lot to actually get off my ass and disable that on my website. So I'm probably going to be doing that, but I do have a members only area I just started putting together here on YouTube, so check the description box below. That should make things much easier. And King of Wands on the bottom of the deck. But before we dive too deep, Capricorn, we're going to talk about, what your oracle cards are saying. They're going to set the tone. They're kind of going to and maybe give us a little bit more insight and see what is happening with you. You have loyal heart. This seems to be coming out a lot lately. Serendipity. This is stalking all of the October readings. It's crazy. I don't know why. I feel like there's just there are some very good karmic rewards coming out for those of you who have been pushing through, fighting the good fight, trying to do the right thing, trying to persevere and not let things drag you down into the pit. So I feel like serendipity is a parting gift from the universe for many of you to help you realize that what you're going through isn't for nothing, and so you have a blessing to bring clarity too. So I really do like that, because some of you might be struggling with do I go left, do I go right, do I say yes, do I say no, and it's less about your inability to make a decision, and it's more about your intuition. But where do your loyalties lie here in October? Are you too overly devoted to someone or something, and you're willing to sacrifice your own happiness and peace and yourself, or are you going to do what's best for you, or do what's in your highest good? Because I feel like, Capricorn, some of you have been doing what is best for other people and not yourself, because it's uncomfortable to do sometimes what's right for yourself and not necessarily for everybody else. And I definitely don't feel like this is a love reading. I don't feel that way. You have Earth, body, and action, planting seeds, new growth, new development, something new coming forward in your life. And so we're going to talk about this and explore the cards, and then we're going to end it. It's about 10 minutes, so let's get going, Capricorn. So you have loyal heart. I feel like you have been overly loyal. I feel like you've been loyal or devoted to a fault, and to the point where it actually can break your back in the figurative sense. So you would do anything for someone in your life right now, and even if it costs you everything, and it's time for that to end. Your loyalty is overextended. Your loyalty is overblown and overdone, and in that, it's actually starting to cloud your view and judgment. It's actually starting to really have a cumulative effect on your life. And so I feel like serendipity is like, hey, something's coming to interrupt that, Capricorn. Something's coming to stop that, because you're depleting yourself and you're asking for help. You're praying, you're calling out to the universe, to spirit, to your creator, what have you. When you lay your head down at night and you just can't get the words out, whatever it is, in your mind, in your daily movements, in your daily routine, you're really just asking for something to change. And that hasn't gone unanswered. It's not going to be status quo or business as usual, because serendipity is coming to really put the smackdown in this situation. And I think you might actually be a little bit like shocked at what happens in October. I don't feel like this is like some big monumental event, but there's something that causes a disconnect between you and a person or somebody else that has been at your deficit. And so finally you get to see the truth for what it is. You get to see things for what they really are and what they really mean and what's really going on. And so you have a blessing from your spirit guides to bring clarity to see the whole truth and nothing but the truth. So help you God. That's what's happening here. And so in that, you're able to formulate a new plan and decide what is best for you, not for somebody else, finally, Capricorn. And so you're able to start to do things that are best for you. And I think that, again, this doesn't feel like love or relationship. It doesn't feel like anything in that respect. But what it does feel like is giving way more than you're ever going to get back in a situation. So the Knight of Cups, I think this is you returning to yourself. This is not you going and gushing towards somebody. This is you coming back to yourself and being true to yourself. I think it's this big epiphany in October where you realize, like, you know, I'm mad as hell. I'm not going to take it anymore. And you start actually caring more about yourself than you do others, not in a narcissistic or egotistical way, but it's like, this is my time. This is time for me to care for number one, because if I can't care for myself, I can't do anything for anybody, let alone the things I have been doing. And so this is Knight of Cups is you, I think, just like returning to yourself. That's where this is going. And I think it's a beautiful, I think this is a love story, finding yourself again. That's what this really means to me. And Temperance here, it's like, I feel like this is like just locking a door and throwing away the key. I almost feel like this is almost extreme backing up in a situation. Temperance is a lot of times about unfinished business, or just seeing eye to eye, or taking a step back and trying to have a meeting of the minds. Or, I mean, it could be, I could throw like 100 meanings in here, but I feel like this is you saying, you know what, I'm locking the door and throwing away the key. This is a time for me. You've been to the extreme on the other end, and now it's time for you. But this is like a gentle time. This is time for you to be gentle and careful with yourself, so you can really understand more about why you've been doing what you've been doing when you've been getting absolutely nothing out of it. It's being like just this overly devoted person to something, devoted with this loyal heart, overly devoted. That's how I feel. And now it's, people aren't going to expect this from you, because it's not in your character to care more about yourself than it is others. But this isn't how this really is. It's you actually saying, I need to care for myself. Self-care. This is about self-care. You have the Moon here. The Moon, it might, cause you to have some issues with seeing totally and completely things as they are. You have a blessing to bring clarity, and that's why I think this card is here, because the Moon is the lesser light. It's not the sun. This isn't the sun card. So this is the lesser light, and in that lesser light there are shadows, there are crevices, there are things that we can't completely see. But keep in mind, shadows bring depth to things also. Shadows make things stand out. Shadows give things dimension. And so in that time where you feel like you might not totally see everything, really the clarity is in your intuition and in your mind. That's really your internal compass, and how you're going to get through this and to see things for what they are. You might not trust that because it might not feel natural to you at the time, but remember, they do give dimension. Shadows give dimension. That lesser light is a blessing, because we can't always have all the answers and see things for what they are. We're not always in the spirit of the sun card, this daylight, illuminating us at all times. So we're not always in that presence. And so we have to have times of the moon. We have to have times of the hermit. We have to have times of the hangman. This is you just trusting your inner guidance and knowing that even though you don't have the answers, you don't have all the foresight, you know that your senses can help you feel your way around, and know that even though things might seem a little strange, those things give life depth. And I think that's what you're really going to start realizing, is there's so much more depth to things. And instead of just constantly doing at face value for other people, you realize that there is depth to what you're doing or what you have been doing. And it starts to make a little bit more sense of this blessing for clarity. But we're going to end this with 2 cards. 10 of Coins. Ultimately, to me, this is about your health and well-being, your mental health, your emotional health, and it's about your stability too. We can't be stable and we can't be productive if we don't have the mental and physical health to do that. And so I think this is like pointing to you that this is something that needs to happen so you can actually take care of yourself without interference from this point on. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. This isn't the lottery. This isn't all things you ever wanted coming to you. This is about the overall balance and well-being of life, and it's just not just about all material things. And you have the King of Wands. This is your new passion. Your new passion is for yourself. Your new passion is for caring for yourself and your space, and it's going to be a great thing for you moving forward, Capricorn. You're going to have a great time in October, once you finally get to the point where you're comfortable just saying, screw it, I'm doing, taking care of number one, I'm taking care of me. And that King of Wands is being a little boisterous and a little active and overzealous maybe, but it's feeling confident. It's being confident in what you're doing. It's being confident in yourself, and that's where you end up ultimately by the end of October, Capricorn. So that's your reading. I'm going to leave it here and say, if this actually resonated with you, I'm just a little guy here on YouTube. Leave me a thumbs up. It helps. Leave a comment. I appreciate the comments more than you know. I try to respond to them all. And again, I'm trying to get away from personal readings. It's too much for me. So check the description box below if you want to get involved in a community here on YouTube that's a little bit more personal, and that's what I'm working towards, so I don't have to do readings for people. It becomes too much and it's more than I can do. So have a great rest of your day, and I will talk to you again soon. And my remote is not working, so I'm going to reach up and hit the camera and say bye to you.